Hey there, guys. I hope your morning is going well. We're almost to afternoon. We're going to talk about DiGize. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christina Campbell. I am the mother of two beautiful children and wife and a physician. I am board certified in emergency medicine. I've been practicing medicine for about 20 years now. And but my passion is prevention and wellness. So if I could put myself out of a job, that would be ideal. So that's my thing. So let's talk DiGize. So DiGize in the premium starter kit tends to be the oil that gets the most hate initially. And when I say that, I mean it's not one that people are drawn to as a pleasant smelling oil. Now, some people love it right off the bat, but for the most part, my experience with those who've gotten kits with me and my team, and even my own experience, DiGize is not it's not necessarily the oil you want to smell, but just one time that you need some digestive support, and you're serious about it. One time using it and realizing how amazing it is will change your mind. It will. It'll just change your mind. So fennel has tarragon, ginger, peppermint, juniper, fennel, lemongrass, anise, and patchouli in it. So those are the single oils that are blended together to make DiGize. It is one of the most commonly used essential oils with animals, in all forms of animals, and has been used in very high amounts orally without any safety concerns or issues arising. So it is a very safe blend as a general rule. And so, you know, as far as an oral dose, you don't have to stress it too much, okay, for animals. Now, with cats and smaller animals, it can feel a bit like a hot oil when it's applied, and so because of that, should be well diluted. Now, with larger animals, it's not so much an issue. But with the smaller animals, cats and smaller, you want to make sure that you are diluting it. And we'll talk more about that here in a minute. DiGize supports a healthy digestive system from the top to the bottom. Okay, top to bottom, a healthy digestive tract. So, and it can also be helpful for any animals that you are transporting that have motion sickness issues, just so you're aware of that as well. Can be used for that discomfort that animals will feel when they're being transported in moving vehicles, okay? As far as, it's not very well enjoyed diffused, and so I would just kind of not even bother with that. My cat runs from it if she smells me coming with DiGize. But that being said, I'll tell you a little story about yesterday with my cat. And I know I'm sort of jumping ahead, but yesterday I came home from an appointment to get my hair done and the kid's haircut. And when I got home, there was mucousy poo all over my house and vomit. And I know that's really gross, but it's true. And she was obviously she was moaning and throwing up, and she was obviously having a digestive issue that she needed help with. And she was feeling under the weather enough that she allowed me to approach her with DiGize on my hands. And I actually used straight DiGize yesterday because what I did was I just put one drop straight on my hands and I just let it soak into my hands almost completely. And then I just held her. I just held her while she was moaning. And really within a half hour to an hour, she stopped moaning. She was obviously still not feeling well, but she didn't throw up again. She several times went to her litter box, but couldn't quite really go. It was still mucousy. And so last night, my husband wasn't feeling well either, which is kind of funny. So he was using DiGize, and she curls up with him at the beginning of the night every night. That's her pattern. And so he put it on his belly, and then he put it on his legs as well, which is where she lays, and she just curled right up anyway. And so by morning today, she seems to be fine. We cleaned up the house, and I haven't seen any new areas to clean. Let me just put it that way. So I'm not continuing to be so graphic, but I worry about her when that happens. You know, I don't want to have to scoop her up and take her to the vet. And if I can use something in the house that will help her to settle down and kind of get past it, then you know what? That's what I'm going to do. So that's what we did with DiGize yesterday. She seems to be doing well, and I'll keep you posted. If she has any issues today, I'll let you know. I did get her again this morning, but today I used my diluted sample. And so I keep this as an old bottle of DiGize that I had completed using, and it says Kitty on the side. So I know it's my diluted sample. And I put 20 drops in this bottle, and then I fill it with V6. So this is a 15 milliliter bottle. Typically speaking, the dilution rate for cats is 1 drop for 6 drops of the V6. So this is a little bit more diluted than that even. It's just a little easier for me to count 20 drops and then fill it up with V6 than it is for me to work so hard at 1 to 6, 1 to 6, 1 to 6, you know. So that's what I do, and I think she likes this diluted sample a lot better. She doesn't seem to have an issue when I come at her with that. But yesterday I got her with the straight stuff, and I petted her head to toe and held her belly with it, so it was, you know, essentially topically applied. And she did a lot of grooming last night once she had settled down, so I know she got it and ingested that way as well, orally. So that's something that works very well with my kitty to support her digestive health. And I jumped right over birds and exotics, so we'll go back. But let me say this too. When you have a cat that, like, our cats are indoor cats only. We don't really take them outside much. I'll take them out on the deck and play with them out there where they're really pretty isolated from any other exposures. And they're not really around a lot of other animals other than the ones that are in our house. So some cats will get worms and things like that, and that can be very disruptive to their digestive system and to their bodies as a whole. So when that's happening, DiGize can be very supportive, and you can add it to their food with the cats, starting with a toothpick method, and then you can increase it or advance that as they tolerate it. Or you can give it in a capsule. So that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit. You can give it in a capsule, 10, let's see. So you would make a mixture of 10 drops of DiGize with 2 mLs of V6. And of that mixture, you would put 5 to 10 drops into a gel capsule and give it orally up to twice a day. Or even more frequently, but I think twice a day is probably plenty for most cats. But again, remember, this has been used in high amounts frequently with animals and with no safety issues. So this is something that you can use quite a bit of if you need. If you are doing capsules with cats, which frankly I've never done, but if you're doing them, you need to find the smaller gel caps. The 0.0 size caps that are sold by Young Living are really far too big for most cats to swallow, unless you're talking about exotic large size cats. So you're gonna, most of the time you can find them at health food stores if you need them to be smaller. This is good too for adults that don't swallow pills well, or capsules well, large capsules. So you can find smaller gel caps typically at health food stores, or even pharmacy supply stores. So just a little tidbit there to really, if you really need to support your cat's digestive system, you can go pretty high on that amount. Okay. Now back to birds and exotics, which I skipped over. Sorry about that. I just wanted to talk about my cat. Sorry. Birds and exotics, the main use for them is oral. So is to give it through their water or their food. With the water, it's that standard dosing, 1 drop in a liter of water. And for food, 1 drop in a tablespoon of their food or less. And they say because it does have quite a strong flavor. Now, frankly, I like the way it tastes. If you guys haven't tasted it, try it. Actually, tasting it is what got me over the smell of it. I never liked the smell until one of my friends dared me to taste it. Beth File, that would be you. So I did, and it tasted like, it has a lot of that fennel and anise in it, and so it tasted a bit like licorice, and I love licorice. So for me, that really changed my, I actually enjoy the smell of it now, which I did not when I first got my kit. So it's kind of interesting how our likes and dislikes will change as we use oils and realize their worth. So, so as far as birds and exotics, the food and the drinking water is the main way of using it. Start low, go slow, as is always my motto. And when you can also use it as a pet for petting with non-avian species. So when you're talking about things like turtles and, I don't know, reptiles and snakes and, I don't know, anyone else that you would be using it on that would be an exotic animal, you can use a drop in 10 drops of V6 diluted, and then use a drop of that petting. And that topical application can be helpful for their digestive tracts as well. Okay, so let's skip over now to, because we've gone sort of haphazardly through my notes here. So dogs and larger, let's talk dogs and larger. For dogs and larger, can be actually added to a species-specific raindrop. Again, can be added to their food and their water in the same method, starting with a drop per tablespoon of food or 1 drop per liter of water. It can also be used direct topically, petting, through petting or direct topical application, and can be used neat with dogs. It can be used neat. It's not quite as hot to the sensation, not quite as much of a hot sensation as it is for the smaller animals. But I would start with diluted sample, and then if you can move up to a neat sample or use, that's fine too. Typically 10 drops of DiGize per 20 pounds of body weight twice a day. And but you can start a lot lower than that. You can start at 1 drop per 20 pounds. Most dogs especially will respond very well to lower doses of this essential oil. And diluting it at least 1:1 is suggested, even for oral and for the capsule. So if you're giving it orally, a dilution rate of at least 1:1 is suggested. Okay, not actually feeding it to them straight. Now that doesn't mean that if you have it on your hands, or you have straight oil in your hands and they lick it out and they want it and they take it, does that mean that's going to be a problem? Probably not. If they came over and started licking it out of your hands, they probably know they need it or they want it, and it's most likely fine. So I wouldn't stress it too much. And if it bothers them, they're going to stop, right? So, so I hope that helps with that question, which I could see coming. Okay, and then with horses. Now this is an amazing essential oil to use with horses. You would start with about a drop per 100 pounds of body weight, and then you can use that orally twice a day. Many horses have been documented as using or consuming 200 drops of DiGize in a day and not had any safety issues with it. So that's well documented, according to Dr. Shelton, and so you don't need to worry or hesitate. It is a wonderful blessing as a way to support horses that have colic, to support their digestive tract during that colicky episode, and can be given 20 drops in their lip every 20 minutes, and at the same time often applied topically and rectally. As the same time as they're doing as you're giving it orally to the horse. So just you can think about how you might use that to help support your horse's digestive tract during times of distress. And it can be added to their food and water as well, as a maintenance if that's something that you feel your horse may need, depending on them. So that completes our talk about DiGize. I hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, please share. And I want to mention to you at this point, if you guys are interested in obtaining a premium starter kit and you haven't done so yet, please contact me, private message me. I would love to help you get started. I do a lot of educating on the oils, and I do a lot for my leaders who are building a business as well. So please private message me. I would love to help you get started. And just definitely don't hesitate. It is worth every penny. And I'd love to talk to you more about it. So message me and we'll get you started. In the meantime, the next oil we're going to talk about is Panaway. And for now, I have to go do a couple things around the house, and then hopefully I'll get back to you this afternoon. You guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy your weather, and hopefully you're enjoying your weather. The sun just finally came out here. It's been kind of cloudy most of the morning, so I will see you guys later. Oops, photobomb. There.
It is true.
She likes to do that.
About the sun.
Okay. Yay. All right. We'll see you guys later.